How to deal with a boss who is unsupportive. A good manager nurtures creativity, growth, respect, trust, and makes the workplace a lot of fun. On the other hand, a bad manager pushes you down, criticizes you constantly, and makes you feel really bad about whatever you do day in and day out. Now, if you're a manager who is unsupportive and with whom you've not got the right rapport, here are few steps that you can leverage to get the tone right between the two of you. Number one, personal reflection. Sit down and reflect on the situation. Look at the truth of it. Is he like this only with you or with everybody else in the team? If he's like that with everybody in the team, then I bet that everybody is going through the same pain, the same discomfort, the same lack of fun in the workplace. And you can be the one who can set it right for everybody. So if that's the case, then also this video is for you. On the other hand, if you feel that he's like this only with you, he's got his favorites. There are people with whom he hangs out. There are people with whom he smiles, not with you, but with those people. They laugh, they share jokes, they go out on lunches and all those things. It is possible that you're probably not performing as well as you think you are. Maybe your performance has taken a dip. Maybe you have got into this victim mentality. Maybe you have been accumulating the grudges inside you. Maybe you're not openly communicating. Maybe. And I want you to open yourself up to it, because yes, there are things which he's not doing right, but we will work on these maybes because this is in our control. We cannot control him, but we can control the vibes which we are sending to him. In both the cases, whether he is like this with everyone or only with you, and the maybes have now come into picture, let's proceed to step number 2. It's time to have an honest conversation with him. An open heart-to-heart conversation. It's time to go for a coffee catch-up. Now, this coffee catch-up, I suggest, do not have inside your workplace, because in your work, in your work environment, both of you have got into a certain demeanor. You're captured in that demeanor, and it will be difficult for you to have that free exchange of thoughts. So I suggest go to the coffee shop which is next to your office. Get out of your workplace into a neutral place where you both are free to talk about things. And there, talk to him about that sense of discomfort that you are feeling. Look, it's not a blame game. It's not about you did that, you said that. No. The moment you do that, you lose the game. It's not about that. It's not about blaming, because then he will become defensive and you will lose the conversation. It's about you sharing that it's not, things are not comfortable. There's some discomfort that you're sensing. And because he's the one who's closest to your work, maybe there are things that he can see, but you cannot. Maybe there are some blind spots that you've got. Maybe you are not able to notice things. And for that, you want to just have a chat to understand what's happening. Is there something that you can do differently? And open up your heart, bare your soul. Because whenever you do that, there's no option for the person on the other side of the table to respond to you at the same frequency. You talk to him about the expectations. Maybe there's an expectation mismatch. So what does he expect from you? What level of performance? What delivery? And without getting into the right or wrong of things, set boundaries for yourself as well. His expectations, your boundaries, and also agree on a rhythm of communication between the two of you so that things can keep flowing. Now that a window has opened up, you can let the things flow openly. The third step is to come back on your seat and implement everything that you have learned in that conversation. What are the gaps? What is it that you were missing? So maybe that Friday update, maybe setting up fortnightly catch-ups, even if it is for 15 minutes, maybe highlighting the issues or the blockers even before they actually anybody else comes to know about it. The fourth thing that I want you to do is to evaluate. Have you become someone who is always seeking for validation, who is always looking for approval? Now, I really want to mention it here because I've had people reporting to me, some of those, they wanted me to check, review, approve everything that they did. Now, if I have to do that for them, what are they there for? Don't they have a responsibility? Don't they have an ownership to do their piece of work so that they can feed that into my piece of work? So make sure you're not the person who is looking for constant validation, because if you are doing it, you're not required, right? If your manager has to do all the work. So do not put yourself into a weak position by being an approval seeker. Number 5, there are times when you have to go to him to talk about the blockers and the challenges, big blockers and the challenges which are coming your way, the roadblocks. And obviously, you need to talk to him. But when you go and talk to him about it, then do not just go with the problem. Go with the possible solution as well. Options that are there, because you are the master. You are the expert in the room. You are closer to details than what he is. And because you know certain things which he doesn't, and he knows the big picture, some of which is not visible to you, you both can together come up with the way forward. So be the person who goes into his room not only with the problem but also with the possible solutions. And be that person in the room. Be that person in his team who's constantly looking for gaps, and who's proactively looking for gaps and is striving to fill them, who's constantly brimming with ideas, who's taking initiatives, who's not just doing what is expected, but always going above and beyond. Become that person. And lastly, feed into the success of your manager. Set yourself on a quest that your objective is to make your manager successful. And if you do that, because as your manager is successful, that success actually comes back in circle and feeds into your success. There is no reason why you won't be the one that your manager relies upon the most. Why you won't be the blue-eyed girl or the blue-eyed boy in your workplace. Forget that discomfort with your manager.